if we're successful here, then what we could be doing is paving the way for people to have a permanent and growing infrastructure at the moon.
You're looking at Firefly Aerospace's Mission Operations Center here in Austin, Cedar Park, Texas, just north of Austin, where the team has been operating Blue Ghost Mission 1 for the last 45 days since launching from Kennedy Space Center. Welcome to the live landing coverage of Firefly's first road trip to the moon with our Blue Ghost lunar lander delivering NASA payloads.
Guess who's back? Back again. Jake is back with another fake space mission. Welcome back, y'all. This is my bread and butter. This is how the channel got started, breaking down fake space missions. Nobody breaks down fake space missions like your boy. So with that said, today we're going to be breaking down Firefly's Blue Ghost lunar landing. Let's do this.
And Firefly's Blue Ghost Mission 1, called Ghost Riders in the Sky, was awarded through NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services, or CLPS initiative. With NASA's Artemis campaign, we are returning to the moon to conduct groundbreaking science and leverage technological advancements before people go back.
No, lady. You are not returning back to the moon, so don't include yourself with we. What's with this we stuff? We are returning to the moon? No, lady, you're gonna sit there, you're gonna point at a computer graphic, you're gonna show a room full of people clapping, and then you are going to pretend as if something went to the moon. I personally don't believe anyone ever walked on the moon, and I don't think anyone ever will walk on the moon because I don't think the moon is something that can be landed and walked upon. In fact, I got this shirt right here. It says Lunar Module or a Homeless Tweaker's Shelter. Now, in my opinion, the original 1969 lunar module, which supposedly landed on the moon, it looks more like a homeless tweaker shelter to me than it does an actual spacecraft, which supposedly landed on the moon. Just in case you don't know what you're looking at on my shirt, this is the 1969 original lunar module, which supposedly took men to the moon, and it landed on the moon. Now, I don't believe for a second that this lunar module landed on the moon, and I don't think for a second that any lunar module ever landed on the moon, including this Ghost Rider mission with their unmanned spacecraft. So when I hear this Firefly lady talking about we're gonna perform science on the moon before we send people back to the moon, hey, there was never people that ever went to the moon in the first place. NASA clearly lied. You have to be brain dead if you want to believe that any of those moon missions were ever real.
And later on, Blue Ghost Mission 1 is set to touch down on the lunar surface carrying 10 NASA science and technology instruments. Just over an hour from now, we will attempt to land in Mare Crisium, a basin in the northeast quadrant of the moon's near side, or the side we see here on Earth. A little south of Mare Crisium, you will find Mare Tranquillitatis, or Sea of Tranquility. That location might sound familiar since that's where the first Apollo astronauts landed on Apollo 11 in July 1969. That's over 55 years ago.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
So according to a NASA astronaut, they lost and destroyed the technology to return to the moon. But here we are in 2025. They can take an unmanned mission to the moon. They can land a lander on the moon, but Yeah, it's been over 50 years since they've figured out how to return humans to the moon. So, through this Firefly mission, they're gonna perform some science and hopefully they're gonna figure out how to one day in the future get men back on the moon. So that is their official story. Now, if you choose to believe their official story, then you are officially brain dead.
This Blue Ghost mission has been a journey not only for our Firefly team, but the friends and family who have supported us. More than 750 Firefly employees have played a role in bringing this historic mission to life, and their loved ones have been an integral part of this journey. This impressive team is joining us now with our NASA customers watching from a viewing location just down the road from our Mission Operations Center.
I want to be there. We're joining forces for this historic moment marking Firefly's first lunar landing.
Now, this is not my first rodeo. I have broke down several of these phony moon landings. I've also broke down some of the phony Mars rover landings. So here on my channel, I have done this many times. I am the best in the world at doing this. And let me tell you what they're going to do with this crowd who's at the viewing center. The crowd is used to celebrate and clap and cheer when they tell you that they've landed on the moon. They ain't going to show you them landing on the moon. No, they're going to show you a computer simulation of them landing on the moon. And then they're going to show you a crowd who's happy, so happy that they landed on the moon. They repeat this over and over again. This is a trick that they've used many times. I've pointed it out over and over again. This is nothing new. So they've already told you they have a crowd just down the street at the viewing center. You guys, nobody cares enough to be a spectator to watch a simulated video from when an unmanned spacecraft lands on the moon. And then their celebrations are always so fake and phony and over the top. You really expect me or anybody with a functioning brain to believe people are celebrating an unmanned spacecraft landing on the moon? They're going to celebrate it as much as their favorite fake phony football team winning a fake phony game? Get out of here. People care way more about their fake phony football than they do fake phony space missions. According to NASA, they've been to the moon before. They had people on the moon. They drove a dune buggy around on the moon. They played freaking golf on the moon. Now, they may have lost and destroyed that technology, but that's their own stupidity, right? So why should anyone, even if they believe in space travel, be so excited to cheer for an unmanned spacecraft landing on the moon that you don't even get to see?
And before we touch down, let's go ahead and review our current mission status. Blue Ghost just entered a planned comms blackout on the far side of the moon where we have limited access to our ground stations on Earth. As you can see in our telemetry-driven simulation, the lander is currently in low lunar orbit, about 100 kilometers above the surface as we get ready for our descent orbit insertion, which is going to be in about 10 minutes.
So right there, they just literally admitted what they're showing you on screen is a telemetry-driven simulation, meaning they don't have a live camera feed of the lander landing on the moon. You don't get to see the lander landing on the moon at all. What they are going to show you is some CGI, and they're going to call it telemetry-driven simulation. They do this a lot now. They tell you what you're looking at on screen is a simulation. So they don't even try and trick you into thinking that that CGI is the real thing. They admit to you it is indeed a simulation. Here's the thing. Why don't they have a live feed? How come there isn't any live video footage of this thing landing? How come they don't have a bunch of cameras attached to the outside? Well, it's because it's so far away on the far side of the moon that they just don't have that capability. And I think they lost and destroyed that technology, if I'm not mistaken. So, a CGI telemetry-driven simulation is what you get. And guess what? You have to fully accept that that represents their lander about to land on the moon. And if you question it, if you say, hey, how do we know that that thing accurately represents what the lander's actually doing? How do we know there even is a lander in outer space? It's telemetry-driven simulation data. Just trust it. It comes from NASA. You know, those people who totally didn't lie about going to the moon back in 1969. Yeah, just trust those guys blindly and their telemetry data.
But in the meantime, you can track the mission progress in the timeline bar at the bottom of the screen. And throughout the show, you'll see even more graphics that are driven by our real telemetry data from Blue Ghost. Those gauges are frozen now, but will activate once we reacquire signal with the lander. The simulation you see is about 15 seconds delayed, so we'll be landing on the moon just before you see it on your screen.
So this is a delayed CGI simulation of an unmanned space mission. And there's a crowd at a viewing center down the street who wants to see a delayed CGI simulation of an unmanned space mission. Please, show me these actors. I can't wait to see how fake excited they get when they see a delayed simulation of an unmanned moon landing.
3 contact sensors tripped.
Engine shutdown confirmed.
Power's nominal vehicle is charging.
IMU reports lunar gravity and it is stable.
Alcon, Chief Engineer on Ops. Y'all select the landing. We're on the moon.
Firefly Aerospace just became the first commercial company in history to complete a fully successful moon landing. Congratulations to the entire team. This is such an incredible feat for Firefly, NASA, our nation, and the world as we pave the way for a lasting lunar presence.
Congratulations, Bridget. And to our Firefly and NASA teams, what a nail-biting moment in history. The joint teams are now celebrating or enjoying this much-deserved celebration at our landing event here in North Austin, Texas. This marks the beginning of the next phase of the mission, surface operations. How are you feeling, Bridget?
Honestly, overwhelmed. I am so proud of our team. Firefly has a way of constantly exceeding expectations. This is a perfect example of that.
So check it out, y'all. All they need to do to convince and trick millions of people into thinking that they landed a spacecraft on the moon, all they need is a delayed CGI simulation, a room full of people pretending to be excited, and that's it. Just that. A little bit of CGI, some people happy and clapping, and look at all these people. Do you really expect me to believe that that many people hung out in a room and watched a delayed CGI simulation and then they celebrated this much? Yeah, right. Nobody gets that excited over a delayed CGI simulation. Now, these people who supposedly work there and they are employees, you could make the argument that they would be excited because it's their job, it's their passion. But all of these other hundreds of people crammed into this room, why are they that excited? Are these even real people? At this point, I'm wondering if this is like a group of CGI people pretending to be excited. So there you have it, y'all. You got some CGI, you got a group of people. Personally, I think it was a bit of an underwhelming celebration. In fact, let's take a look at some of my breakdowns from the past, and I'll show you what I consider to be the best fake space celebrations.
जी हाँ, आप अपने स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल
People are applauding. Let us all wait to hear from the Secretary Department of Space and Chairman ISRO, Shri S. Somnath.
लैंडर मॉड्यूल पूरी तरह से सेफली और सॉफ्टली चंद्रमा के सतह पे लैंड हो चुका है। ये हम लोगों के लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है। हिंदी में एक कहावत है कि चंदा मामा दूर के, लेकिन अब हम ये कह सकते हैं कि चंदा मामा अपने घर के।
बहुत ही उम्दा. The hard work of the entire ISRO community has come to fruition.
Land on the moon, we land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. Land on the moon, we land on the moon. And because of that, I now have a career singing Land on the Moon for Super Chats during live streams. Now, as much as I love that Indian moon landing celebration, it isn't my number one most favorite fake celebration over a fake space mission of all time. You want to know what is my number one most favorite fake celebration over a fake space mission of all time? For that, we got to go back to 2018, the Mars rover landing. It is by far the best fake celebration over a fake space mission that there ever was or ever will be. And I'm going to prove it right now.
80 meters.
All right, y'all. Is it me, or does this dude look a whole hell of a lot like Alex Trebek? What do you guys think?
30 meters. 20 meters. 17 meters. Standing by for touchdown. Touchdown confirmed.
Touchdown! Woo! Yeah! USA! 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 Yay! Woo, woo. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Woo!
That's fantastic.
This never gets old.
No, it doesn't, Rob.
You got that right, Rob. It just never gets old watching NASA lie to the public and steal billions of dollars. Man, I could just watch this stuff all day long. It never gets old. So now, without further ado, the grand finale. Here it comes.
Touchdown confirmed.
What a celebration.
That was fun.
Yeah, that handshake. We've been practicing it. I know. They were better at it than we are.
I think we should make that a thing, because that was an awesome
Exactly,
handshake.
it really was.